Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this video, and if you've noticed, for one, the background has changed. Ooh, I rearranged my room so that way there'd be room for a tripod. Which brings me to part 2, there is now a tripod, and I'm not going to touch it to show you guys because then the whole setup will fall because I don't know how to use the setup yet. But I wanted to break it out, and I promised you guys a video ranting about Dean Ambrose as champ. So that's what you got. Okay, so when Money in the Bank concluded, I was very, very disgruntled. And while certain aspects of that have definitely been fixed a little bit, like, for instance, the fact that the commentary team screwed up saying that all 3 members of the Shield had been champion at the same time, why didn't they say that? Only makes sense, kind of like the whole point in having Seth win. Roman Reigns' suspension kinda adds to it a little bit, because I guess you can't really have Reigns defend the belt if he's not there, and you can't really have Seth feud with Reigns if Reigns isn't there, because you just can't do it. So I'm gonna let a few things slide, but the one thing I can't let slide at all is Dean Ambrose as world champion. Now I know a lot of people online love Dean Ambrose. And you know, if you like Dean Ambrose, more power to you. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Okay, what I'm saying is I don't get it. You watch his matches, he like half of his arsenal is punch. Okay, and it's not like just like punch, like he's a boxer, it's like punch, chop, punch, chop. And kind of like, what's that? He doesn't really sell punches too well. Which, you know, I'm just saying, you know, Miz doesn't either, but I'm a Misfit. But, like his promos, while they are really good, half the time they're good in a random way. And that doesn't really scream main eventer to me. Believe it or not, Roman Reigns screams main eventer more to me than Dean Ambrose does. But let's look at what Dean Ambrose has done recently, okay? So, at Money in the Bank, he won the Money in the Bank match. And I'm just going to say it. I know a lot of people disagree. I think it was a very, very weak Money in the Bank match. I know a lot of people say, oh, it was really great, it was really great. But realistically, when you talk to somebody about this match, they talk about one spot. And that was whatever that driver thing was that Sami Zayn did to Kevin Owens. One of the latter. It's the only spot they talk about. That or the ending. So the match wasn't that good, realistically. And, you know, it's whatever. But before that, at Extreme Rules, you had Dean Ambrose in that Asylum match that I'm pretty sure just about everybody crapped on. Don't remember hearing anybody say that match was good. So far, the last 2 matches he's been in at pay-per-views have sucked. Well, let's not even say they sucked. Let's say they were bad, okay? So you go to Payback. I don't even know what he did at Payback. So it doesn't really matter. But let's skip forward, well, backward, to WrestleMania. You guys remember what he did at WrestleMania? He lost in like 12 minutes to Brock Lesnar. In like 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Many people said it was the worst match of the night. I mean, if you ignore Rock, Eric Rowan, but I'm pretty sure we all do. And I think part of the problem was that a lot of people, myself included, were still in on the Ambrose thing. And we're like, this has to be Ambrose's time. But if you remember, I called that on my WrestleMania predictions. I said, Dean Ambrose is not going to win. He should, because that will instantly make him a main eventer. But he lost. And in general, this is another really awful match that he has had. So if you look at it, okay, what was his last really good match on pay-per-view? Are you going to say his last man standing match with Kevin Owens? Which is fine. If you say that, that is 100% fine. But I also want to say that in the Money in the Bank match, I was pulling for Kevin Owens. So when I was angry that Dean Ambrose won, I was also angry that Kevin Owens lost. Because, get this, Kevin Owens is a more ready main eventer than Dean Ambrose. You look at it, okay? Kevin Owens is better in the ring the crowd, even though they're not as 100% behind him, they react. He does better on promos. He does better at everything. You know what Dean Ambrose doesn't have? A pinfall victory against John Cena on pay-per-view. A clean one. You know who does? Kevin Owens. You know who doesn't? AJ Styles. I mean, Roman Reigns doesn't, even though he hasn't wrestled him, but you're seeing my point here. Kevin Owens is more ready to be a main eventer than Dean Ambrose. And if you want to keep arguing with me, that's fine. It's 100% fine. But I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Dean Ambrose was not ready now. But I will say that he would have been a great choice for champion at Survivor Series. Because if Ambrose would have won it and, went on to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, I would have bought in. Especially with Reigns as the face going against his best buddy for life, Dean Ambrose. Would have bought it. Would have been all in on it. Okay? If Dean Ambrose would have won at Roadblock, while it wouldn't have been the nicest pay-per-view to do it on, it would have weren't. Instead, we have a Dean Ambrose who has basically been the worst mid-carder over the last few months. Realistically, since Cesaro has come back, he's looked really good in every one of his matches. He had multiple spots of the night in the Money in the Bank match. In the Fatal 4-Way match, he had a bunch of good spots. So, I don't even like Cesaro. I can say Cesaro would have been a better choice. I'm not going to say Sami Zayn was a better choice, because who would I be kidding? But Chris Jericho would have been a better choice. I don't get it, guys. I'm not saying Dean Ambrose is bad. Really, I'm saying far from that. But this was not the time to do this, because he's not ready right now. Realistically, what you might as well have done is had Kevin Owens win the briefcase. You could have either had him cash in on Roman Reigns, which would have been a feud for later on, especially if after the match you knew about the suspension, Kevin Owens injured Reigns, or you could have had Rollins win still and had Owens cash in, or even better, you could have had Ambrose just feud with Rollins anyway, because you've done it every year for the last 3 years. But anyway, I will be bringing you guys a special video for, Battleground coming up? Yeah, I think it's Battleground, where I will be telling you how the WWE should do things. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this video, if you disagree with me, feel free to comment, because I will comment back. I might not comment back immediately, because it's my second YouTube channel, but I will comment back. Like the video, and subscribe, because I do things differently than other people. Granted, I know this setup, is the same as everybody else, but I actually like different wrestlers, guys. So thank you for watching. Peace out, skillets.